My name is Daniel Kim, CFO of ONCOCROSS. We're an AI-based biotech that helps pharmaceutical companies to accelerate drug development. Our mission is to increase the number of drugs in the market with lower cost in shorter time. Our core competitiveness is that we can enter clinical trials quickly with correct target indication that can improve the success rate of clinical trials. Everything starts from this graph. This graph shows the number of FDA-approved drugs per $1 billion spent. In 1950, nearly 100 drugs were approved and came to market. By today, it is less than 1. In fact, pharmaceutical companies on average take almost 10 years and spend $2.6 billion to have one drug approved. As stated before, our mission is to increase this number with less money in shorter time. And let me give you why we think this is possible and how. Most AI biotechs are in early stages of drug discovery. This area requires heavy R&D spending and frequent failures are inevitable. Whereas we focus on later stages of development. We take drug compounds that are beyond preclinical stages and using our AI platform, OncoAI, we find new indication. Once we identify the new indication, we can skip the discovery phase and start clinical trials fast. This way, we can save up to 8 years in time and 95% of the cost that is typically incurred to enter clinical studies. Then how do we identify a new indication? This is where our database comes in. We believe diseases are caused by complex interactions between many genes. However, majority of the pharmaceutical companies focus on a single gene target. We think the focus on single target is insufficient to treat disease properly. Therefore, we approach with a focus on transcriptomic gene expression pattern. In our proprietary database, we have over 100,000 patients' RNA expression data, over 25,000 drug signature data, more than 410 different disease types, and 40 types of cancers with various phenotype information. The idea is quite simple and logical. So a patient gets sick, infected by a virus, and shows an unbalanced gene pattern. Then with our AI platform, OncoAI, we find a drug that can reverse the unbalanced gene back to the normal gene. We named our algorithm ReDrug, which stands for Restoration Using Drug for Targeting Unbalanced Genes. For combination therapy, we named it ReDrug Combination. In indication expansion, we screen new or additional indication for drug compounds in phase 2 or 3 stage. In cancer, we screen to find the optimal indication or biomarker for anti-cancer drugs. In rescue drug, we screen to find new indication for compounds that have failed during phase 2 or 3 clinical trials. In IMD, we find best matching combination of 2 drugs to improve the efficacy. In orphan drug, we screen marketed drug to find rare disease indication. And in infectious disease, we screen marketed drug timely to find the optimal drug combination during pandemic situation like the COVID-19. And let me give you one example of our value in real-life application. Sarcopenia was coded as proper disease by WHO in 2016, but there are no approved drugs in the market. Using OncoAI and ReDrug combination, we found OC501 and 504 to be a good drug combination. After we validated it in vitro and in animal model, we licensed out to Korea Pharma. This records the first licensing out deal of any AI-initiated drug candidate from an AI biotech to a traditional pharmaceutical company. The Korea Pharma is to conduct clinical trials soon, and this was done without spending millions of dollars in many years. In rescue drug, we received 5 compounds from Boehringer Ingelheim that failed during clinical trials. We found 1 compound showing a meaningful indication, and we're currently validating in animal model. And at the same time, we're also discussing with Boehringer Ingelheim on the next step forward. In orphan drug, we can screen and repurpose existing drug with known pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics to find a solution for rare disease with unmet medical needs. This way, we screened a good candidate for ALS and planning a phase 2 clinical trials next year. We're also collaborating with Columbia University, RSAX Foundation, and Severance Hospital on other rare diseases. This slide shows the competitive landscape. As you can see, most of AI biotechs are in early stages of drug discovery with high R&D cost. However, at the end of the day, if the compound does not pass the clinical trials, it cannot become a proper drug. ONCOCROSS's unique AI platform and business focus allows us to advance into clinical trials rapidly at a low cost, and this slide reflects it well. We currently have 15 pipelines, 8 in-house and 7 partnered, and among these, 5 are to begin clinical trials within the next 12 months. This makes us an attractive partner for the big pharmas. We're currently collaborating with Cancer Research UK, Columbia University Medical Center, and Bavarian Ingelheim, to name a few. ONCOCROSS management largely consists of healthcare professionals, 3 medical doctors and a pharmacist, led by Dr. Iran Kim, the founder, the CEO, and a medical oncologist. This makes us a more healthcare market-driven company, since we know where the unmet medical needs are versus the other AI biotechs, which most of the founders have IT background. Here are some of the areas where we would like to seek an opportunity to collaborate. We can introduce our in-house pipelines for licensing agreement. We can screen for a new or additional indication of your existing drug or drug candidates. We can also find the best partner drug to improve the efficacy. We can collaborate on various anti-cancer drugs, and we believe we can collaborate on the research on indication of Chinese medicine and medicinal materials. Now let me repeat this. Accelerate drug development with ONCOCROSS. I hope this one-liner makes sense to you. Thank you very much for your time.